Tim Slagle on the weekly wrap. Okay, we got some news to get to, but I'd be remiss if we didn't hit this right away. I'm just really eager to hear your view. 1923. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's my biggest beef
Yeah.
with the finale of 1923.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah. AAA was formed in 1902 in Chicago, Illinois. I cannot believe that a wealthy British
Sure.
couple from Winnetka would would not have called for a triptych before they decided to drive
Yeah.
1,500 miles across the country and realized that how far the gas stations were in between each other and not maybe gotten a jerry can full of gas because they were only 3 miles away from the next town when the car ran out of gas. 3 miles. I mean, and she could have walked it and probably would have lost less limbs if she had walked the
Speaking of
three
her limbs,
miles
well,
into town.
first of all, I mean, that was riveting. I gotta say, best fire ever. When she starts up that fire in the back of the car, I it was, it, I've seen a lot of fires, campfires, this and that, various conflagrations in the movies. To me, the build up to her making herself warm with that fire made that the best fire ever. However, I got some problems with her. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. She decides that she'd rather die than not be able to run through the fields. Okay, isn't that what happened? Because
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Now, isn't she a selfish bitch? I mean, she's got a baby. Doesn't the baby want to
Sure.
grow up with his mother? And
Not to mention that baby is, 6 months premature. You
yeah,
want to do everything possible for that baby.
right.
If you just keep one breast alive so the baby can be fed,
And meanwhile,
it
Mister
would be beneficial
Yeah,
for her to, yeah.
right. And Mister Lion, yeah, and it's not like it was easy for them to get goat's milk. That you had to kill a couple of goats or whatever. It wasn't that easy. It wasn't like you had the Oberweis guy dropping the stuff off. So you know,
Not to mention when the girl with the navel said
sure.
no to the rabies shot. There was no. The girl said no.
Well, this is your first feminist who actually she didn't she wanted to keep the baby. But she'd rather die than be there for the baby. And then
Right. But they supported her when she said, "No, you're not going to cut off my arms and legs. You're going to let me die.
right, right.
You were
Well,
going to let me die here."
and
Whereas the girl with rabies, she
sure.
said no, and they
Yeah.
said, "Hold her down."
The first feminist, 1923. I'd rather die than take care of my baby. And her husband, the big elephant hunter, lion hunter, everything, all the perils of Pauline that he went through. He just sits there, on the bed, and he says, "Well, your heart, you still have your heart," and she says, "No, I want to die." And then he's okay, fine, never mind. Like the biggest wuss in the world. And then he's, sitting there next to the grave for the rest of his life, missing her.
For 45 years.
It's a long time to sit next to a grave.
I forgot until that final scene that the voiceover
Yeah.
was the girl in 1883 who got the arrow in the spoiler alert,
Yeah.
arrow in the belly.
Yeah. It took my wife and I a little while. No, wait a minute. No, she's from the first
1883.
season of 1923.
No, 1883.
Okay. Then,
Spencer is her little brother. Spencer that was raised by
no,
the
no, no.
uncle.
All right. All right. Now let's do a little math. Okay. I mean, we just got through the brain cramping thing of tariffs. Okay. If Spencer's her little brother in 1883, he's like about 6 years old then, right? In
No, he
1883.
was not born in 1883.
Wait,
It's
wait, wait. How?
she No, he had not been born yet.
What? How,
He came around 1890.
he came around 18. Her little brother
Yeah,
from whom?
from her
From
parents. Her parents
okay.
lived. Her parents,
Okay.
the Duttons, the original Duttons,
So
who took the
wait a minute.
land,
He's 33 years old in
roughly,
1923? I don't
roughly.
think so.
What?
All right, maybe he is. I'll tell you, we are really good. No.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
Oh,
There's the Dutton family tree.
don't show me
Uh,
the Dutton family
what
tree.
is Chris? Can you interrupt here? Was the baby was the 6 month old premature baby? Was that Kevin Costner's dad or grandfather?
Wait, the 6 month old premature baby was who? The one the
The Yeah, okay.
the one that she just had?
The one she just had. No,
That's
that's got to
that's
be that.
that's John Dutton the second. That's Kevin Costner's father.
That's
Okay.
Kevin
Okay.
Costner's father.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
They were raised by goats.
And what they should have had was, the ghost of Dutton's future, coming up there and saying, and you stay alive. You make sure you stay alive, you little wee one, because someday your son is going to be murdered, and we're going to have to give all this stuff away to the Indians. Okay, so speaking of
Well, the Indians, they actually had said the Indians that directed the original John Dutton to the land said,
Mhm.
"Is it okay if we hunt there?" And he said, "Absolutely." And then he said, "In 3 generations, we
Yeah,
will
yeah,
take
no,
it back."
I'm aware of that. All right,
Okay. Okay.
here's something probably the most astute observation anybody's going to make about 1923. But follow me on this. I just loved it when the Native American came upon the scene of these multiple murders, remember, in separate incidents,
Uh-huh.
and without even the benefit of DNA testing, was able to construct a perfect timeline, tell who killed whom, and divine everyone's mother's maiden name. And get this, I think it no coincidence that the sister of Dexter, you remembered what
Yeah.
Dexter did,
Yeah. Yeah,
blood
sure.
spatter analyst. The sister of Dexter played the U.S. Deputy Marshal who witnessed all this amazing forensic pathology. How about that? There's a
Wow.
forensic pathology connection nexus with the sister of Dexter being there. How isn't that a great observation that I made?
Sure, sure, but that for me, that Native American being able to reconstruct the crime exactly as it happened
Without even chalk. Well, they had the
was
bodies there.
it was
They
a
didn't need the
little
chalk outline.
yeah, but it was kind of racist. I mean, really, it's like that old joke. They go,
Of course.
wagon train,
Yeah.
12 horses,
Right.
6 women, 5 men. You go,
Yeah.
you can hear all that with your ear to the ground? No, ran over me 5 hours ago. If you remember the joke.
Oh. Oh. I was half expecting, Dexter's sister to go Kimosabi, but yeah, but that was amazing, and of course,
And then, of course, the little Indian girl gets off and goes, "Well, I don't know what to do now." And he says, "California is the place you ought to be."
oh man, yeah, yeah, a little flat and Scruggs playing in the background, and she goes, "We doggies." No, 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 no. She, yeah, and of course the perfect teeth. Even so, I don't know what to do. But yeah, but you have the Pepsodent smile. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Well,
got
that's what happens when you're not raised with processed sugar. Hello.
well, fluoride in water. There we go.
Yeah.
RFK Jr. baby.